Just as a quick legal disclaimer, I did receive this heatsink as a review sample with the only expectation that I do a video on it, and I will have a review on this, the link in the description as well. But for this video, I want to show how to install the heatsink in a socket 1150 series motherboard, and these instructions are the same for socket 1200 based on the very limited instructions it comes with. And for the 1150 and 1200 sockets, you need to have the right components. So it shows that you need the screw D, the mounting bracket C, which is the same for all, the spacer G, and then the backplate J. And there's a little pictogram to show you what spacer G is, which is the one that's perfectly round with no indents and it's not hexagon shaped. It doesn't specify which way they go, as I just lose it. Shoot. So an interesting note about these spacers, I don't really know which way they go because the manual doesn't really show. And one side of the hole you can see straight through, and the other side of the hole you see there's a little bit of a lip. So I have tried seeing like if there's a way that needs to go, but I don't really know. So I don't think it matters unless there's something different with socket 1200 maybe, but it's the same bracket either way. And with this bracket for the 1150 and 1200, there's no labeling on it. The hole pattern and spacing though will be pretty obvious. So this is the 1700X one, which is labeled and it has a different pattern to it. Spacing is a little bit wider. So the one that doesn't say what it's for is the one that you'll need for your 1150 and 1200 boards. You'll notice there's some little 3M tape on the back of them. That's so you can stick it to the back of the motherboard to make it easier to install. I won't be doing that in this video just because I need to play musical parts later on and I don't want to have to unstick it. But you'll want to remove these and plan on sticking those to the back of your motherboard. Make sure the surface they contact is clean before pressing it down so you get a good adhesion. And when you install this bracket, in my case, there's a cutout thankfully, but you may need to do this with the motherboard outside of the PC first if you don't have a cutout like this. When you install the bracket though, you'll notice that there's a shape to it that matches the shape of the socket support bracket. And when you install this, you want it to look like that, minus those little tabs. See how the bottom of this kind of lines up with the shape of the socket support. And you'll want to stick it down and make sure it's stuck down real nice before you move on. From there, you'll go back to the top of your board, and this will be a little bit easier if you have it stuck down already. Since I'm doing this just to show, it's going to be a little bit harder for me. You'll need 2 spacers, 2 of the screws, and they're the Intel screws that look like that, and then 1 of the brackets to start with. And as shown in the manual, the standoff goes to the outside of the socket. Ironically, I just noticed that this one's missing its little riser because it's stuck to the heatsink. So I'm going to use this one as an example. So this little standoff here, these are can be on loose at first. So you might want to tighten it with a wrench. Don't use like pliers or something because you don't want to chew up the finish, but you might want to tighten it with a wrench first. And basically what you'll end up doing is these screws go through the middle of the holes. It's very hard to tell, but there's a little bit of a lip inside of there to make it so these screws stay in place. And I'll just put the spacers over. And since I'm doing this sideways, I think I'm going to get one on first, and then I'll show you what it's like so I don't have to fight it. Alright, so I misspoke a little earlier. The screws for the 1150, 1200 go towards the inside of the holes, like so. Also, I decided to tip this on its back. The first time I installed this, I did it vertical, and I didn't realize how much easier it is on the back. So you'll set the standoffs on there, and then you'll take your thumb screws, and install them inside like that. And basically, you don't want to cross thread them, but just kind of start them with your fingers. And then once you get them a couple turns in, take your tool, tighten them down. You don't want to crank them down really hard, but you want to tighten it down just enough so it's solid. And before installing your heatsink, you may want to install your memory. Obviously, you want to test it first. But once you get the brackets down and your memory installed, then you can install the heatsink. And you'll notice on the heatsink there's these two mounting screws, and the holes to access those are all the way here on the top, which is why you need a really long screwdriver. It needs to be a little bit longer than 6 inches for the shaft itself if you want to be able to reach the screws. And the tricky part is alignment. So when you put the heatsink down, you want to eyeball where those screws are, and you want to try to get it lined up accordingly. Which I'm trying to do this with a tripod in the way, so I think I'm a little crooked there. I think if I step on the other side of the tripod, I can't see what I'm doing. I think I got it. And you just let the screwdriver drop straight down in there until you find the head. If the, well actually really for ideally, you go backwards with the screw, 1 full turn or maybe 2 full turns, until you hear click like that. What that does is that helps you align the threads. Then you can screw it down. And once you get one side somewhat started, so like it's somewhat screwed in but it's not, then you can get the other side lined up. So I think it might be lined up, but I'm going to check here. Yeah, so I turn it backwards and I hear the little click because the threads are slipping. So now they should be lined up, but I can just tighten that down like so. And basically, just the name of the game is getting it tight enough to get good contact pressure, but not so tight that you damage something. And since there's only 2 points of contact for the heatsink, or not 2 points, 2 points of being screwed down, it is going to have a little wobble to it. But easiest way to tell is just do a stress test and see what your thermals are like. They should be fairly good if you're not running a really high TDP CPU or doing some extreme overclocking, because I found this performed fairly well. But yeah, then from there it's just a matter of plugging your cables where they go. Each fan has its own little Y splitter, so you can daisy chain them into each other like so, and whichever fan you want to be the primary fan that'll have the fan speed control is the one that you'll want to plug into the motherboard versus the daisy chain. It shouldn't matter so much with the ARGB. But yeah, hopefully that's helpful, and thanks for watching.